The 2026 World Cup starts in 8 days, and this tournament is being played under a set of rules that have never been used at a World Cup before. Covering your mouth during a confrontation is now a red card offence. VAR can now review incorrectly awarded corners. Goalkeepers have 10 seconds to get off the pitch when substituted, or their team plays with 10 men. And a 5-second countdown can cost you possession if you waste time on a throw-in or goal kick. 8 changes, some sensible, some controversial, all of them affecting how this tournament plays out. Let's start with VAR, which has been expanded in 4 meaningful ways for this tournament, all of them situations where, until now, the technology existed, but the rules did not allow it to intervene. First, VAR can now review an incorrectly awarded corner kick. If the ball came off an attacker and the referee mistakenly pointed to a corner, the review system can now flag it, as long as doing so does not significantly delay the restart. Second, attacking fouls that occur before a restart can now be reviewed. Previously, no foul could be penalised until the ball was live. Under the new rules, if a player commits an offence before a goal kick or free kick is taken and it leads directly to a goal or penalty, VAR can step in and recommend disciplinary action retrospectively. Third, and most significant, a red card that results from a clearly incorrect second yellow can now be reviewed and overturned. And fourth, cases of mistaken identity, to where a player receives a yellow or red card for a foul committed by a teammate, can now be corrected through the review process. Andy Davies, a former Premier League Select Group referee, describes these as sensible additions. As he puts it, they are all situations where it currently does not make sense that they cannot be checked. 2 new red card offences have been introduced for this tournament, and the reasoning behind both is worth understanding. The first concerns players covering their mouth with a hand, arm or shirt during a confrontation with an opponent. This rule exists because of a specific incident. The confrontation involving Benfica winger Gianluca Prestiani and Real Madrid's Vinicius Jr. in this season's Champions League, where the possibility of racist language being directed at Vinicius was obscured because the player's mouth was covered. Under the new regulation, if there is any hint of confrontation and a player covers their mouth, the referee can issue a red card. The rule carries one important nuance. If the conversation is clearly friendly, there is no offence. The confrontational context is what triggers the sanction. The second new red card scenario addresses players who leave the pitch in protest over a refereeing decision. If a player walks off in frustration, they are gone. The same applies to coaching staff who instruct players to leave the pitch. And if a team causes a match to be abandoned entirely, as happened at the Africa Cup of Nations final between Senegal and Morocco, when players refused to continue, that team forfeit the match. Davies describes this as necessary. The game has to be protected from the kind of situation that damaged the image of the AFCON final. The remaining changes are largely aimed at eliminating time wasting, and they are more substantial than they might first appear. When a substitution is made, the outgoing player now has 10 seconds to leave the pitch at the nearest exit point. If they fail to do so, the replacement must wait until the next stoppage in play, which must be at least 1 minute away, before being allowed onto the pitch. During that time, the team plays with 10 men. This removes the habit of substituted players deliberately dawdling across the full length of the pitch, which has been one of the most routine forms of time wasting in the modern game. The 5-second restart rule targets goalkeepers and outfield players who delay throw-ins and goal kicks. When the referee judges that a player is taking too long, they raise their hand and begin a countdown. If the ball is not in play by the time 5 seconds have elapsed, possession is reversed. The team that was supposed to restart loses the ball. Davies expects this to have an immediate effect, particularly on goalkeepers, who will simply not risk a 5-second countdown, resulting in a corner being awarded against them. On injuries, outfield players who receive treatment from medical staff must now leave the pitch for a full minute before returning. Davies is openly critical of this one, noting that 1 minute disadvantages a team unfairly and that the Premier League's own 30-second version worked considerably better. Goalkeepers, meanwhile, can no longer serve as tactical timeouts. Players will not be permitted to wander to the touchline for instructions when the goalkeeper goes down. Though there is no formal punishment for those who break the rule, it does represent IFAB acknowledging a problem that has been exploited systematically for years. And finally, with 3 host nations across North America providing extreme summer heat, there will be a 3-minute hydration break around the 22nd minute of each half, when managers will also be permitted to give instructions to their squads. 8 new rules, some long overdue, some genuinely controversial, all of them changing the way this World Cup is played and officiated. Which of these changes do you think will have the biggest impact on the tournament? And is there one you think goes too far? Drop your verdict in the comments.